Wrong when I tell you to, because I'm gonna fucking record it.
Dude, Dora, you sound like you got a big ass forehead.
I don't care.
Damn, bro, what the fuck? How can you sound like that, bro?
You can just tell.
Got a big ass forehead to fit all that smooth brain.
Wait, do you want to tell me more about Dora's big ass forehead with some guitar in the background? I'll tell you a little bit about it, and then you could go on from there.
Yeah, sure.
Cause Dora got a big ass forehead. 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 Do y'all motherfuckers wanna know why? You can measure that shit with the meter stick. You can measure that shit with the fucking yardstick. You can measure that shit with the frying pan. You can measure that shit with some ugly toes. You can measure that shit with some babby hands. You can measure that shit if he's got a fucking big ass forehead. Cause Dora got a big ass forehead. 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 Do y'all motherfuckers wanna know why? Take it away, Mr. Billy.
I remember it like it was only yesterday, the birth of my beautiful son, Dora. Now, I don't know why the fuck we named him Dora, because he's a guy. But we did, and we decided, you know, if he survives high school...
Did you just call it a son?
It was my son, and yes, he did have a large forehead. But he wasn't always this way. When he was first born, he had a normal-sized head. I remember it just looked like a little light bulb on a stick. And, well, I used to hold him every day, and I would rock him back and forth in my arms. And I was so proud to call him my own son. One day, I got in an elevator to go up to the 100th floor of a hotel. And as we got to the top, the elevator broke down. Part of the floor broke through, and I accidentally dropped him through the elevator shaft, and he fell 100 stories to the very bottom. And he was never the same. That forehead was 10 times as big as I'd ever seen on anybody. He'd been flattened into a fucking pancake. And he was different in the head too. He didn't sound the same when he spoke. He sounded slightly more retarded. I didn't know what to do. So I took him to the doctor and they said, well, we can give him some pills to try to reduce the size of his forehead. But it could have some side effects. And I said, like what, doc? And he said, well, it could just have the opposite effect and make his forehead bigger. It actually has a different effect depending on who it is. But it's worth a gamble. So I said, alright, doc, and I took the pills, and I gave him one, and I saw a vein in his forehead begin to pop. And I knew I had done the wrong thing. It was time to just take him to the fucking vet and put him down. Take it away, rice cooker.
Oh, shit. So does he just absorb fucking, like, sickness? If you got HIV, just pee on his forehead. If you got STDs, just pee on his forehead. If you got a frying pan, just pee on his forehead. If you got ugly toes, just pee on his forehead. If you got, if your name is fucking Dora, just pee on his damn forehead. Cause Dora got a big ass forehead. Dora got a big ass forehead. Dora got a big ass forehead. If you got HIV, just pee on our damn forehead. Dora got a big ass forehead. Do y'all motherfuckers wanna know why? Take it away, Billy.
There I was, looking into the eyes of my fucked up child. His forehead was as big as Sheen from Jimmy Neutron. I knew I had done the wrong thing and it was time to put him down. I took him to the vet, and the veterinarian looked at me like I was crazy, and he said, sir, this is your child, not your fucking pet. What are you doing here? You think we're gonna give him a euthanasia? We would get in so much trouble for that. You know, that would ruin our business. I said, well then just give me a shot and I'll try it myself. And they said, alright, if you insist, here you go. And they gave me the anesthetic. And they said, just inject it to his arm while he sleeps, and it should take him out in a couple of minutes. And I said, alright, thanks, doc. And I went back home, and I waited, and I watched the clock. My autistic, large four-headed son finally fell asleep, and I snuck into his bedroom with the syringe, and I stuck it right in between his two fucking toes so nobody else would see it if he did survive. And I stood there and I pulled up a wooden chair next to his bed, and I sat down and I just crossed my arms and I waited. 5 minutes went by. 10, 15, he was still breathing. I started to wonder what I had done wrong, and then finally he came to and he said, "Dad, I feel funny." And his forehead began to expand again, and he said, what the fuck did you give me? Why does it hurt between my toes, Dad? I thought I could trust you as my father. And I said, well, you see, your forehead is too big, alright? We just can't have this. What you need to do, son, is you need to go into the bathroom, and you need to fix yourself, alright? I don't know what happened when I dropped you down that fucking elevator shaft, but I need you to get it together, because you look like a fucking pancake. I do not want to be known as the father of this piece of shit. And he said, okay, fine, if you insist. And he went to the bathroom, and he looked into the mirror, and he started compressing his fucking forehead with his two hands as if he could change the shape of his own skull. And finally I said, alright, you retard, that's not gonna do shit. So I grabbed him by the shirt collar, I brought him back to the same elevator that we had, I had dropped him down years before. And I said, this is the only way this is gonna work. And so I waited for the elevator, and sure enough, it was still broken. And I dropped him through the hole one more time. I watched him plummet those 100 stories. And he landed. And I scaled my way back down to the first floor to go see if he had been fixed. And, well, there he was, just lying there with an even bigger forehead, still alive, giving me the stupidest fucking grin I'd ever seen. Take it away, Rusty.
So how did he survive that 100-foot fall from the building? You wanna know why? Cause he got a big ass forehead. He got a big ass forehead. He got a big ass forehead. This motherfucking got about a big ass forehead. He got a big ass forehead. He got a big ass forehead. How did he survive that fucking long ass fucking fall? Yeah, cause he got a big ass forehead. He got a big ass forehead. He got a big ass forehead. This motherfucker got a fucking big ass forehead. He got a big ass forehead. You y'all motherfuckers wanna know why?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cause he likes to be on toddlers too.
Okay, that's where it's at, boys.
That was beautiful.
I came in. I joined
I think we got a forehead problem here.
I'm gonna be honest, I had no fucking idea what to do for that. I'm glad you laughed though.
It was great, man.
Funny, though.